dreaming of a...
Nope. Shut it down. Not doing any of that until after Thanksgiving.
FX presents the Indoob podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indoobians. I am T. Sterling Watson, and this is the Indoob podcast. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. Welcome once again to yet another episode, which fortunately this time I actually have a title, and I can tell you up front that this is episode 12, African American Friday Survival Guide. Yes, that could be a mouthful, but hey, that's what this episode is about. African Americans and Black Friday, or African American Friday, as I sometimes like to call it in public, but I don't always do that. But I might go back and forth, so please don't be like, why did he call it that way this time and that way? It's just because it's just my train of thought. So when I actually go into what it is that this episode is about, you'll understand. But before I do that, just a little bit of stuff that's going on because I'm on a little bit of a time constraint. So hopefully I can get through this entire episode now so I don't have to, panic and freak out later on. Only a couple people know like the kind of time constraints I'm on. Only because the week that this episode is coming out, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening. In fact, I had kind of wanted to do maybe a little review of Mockingjay Part 2, all the rhyming unintentional. But unfortunately, the day that this podcast is coming out is the same day that I'm actually going to go see it. I know most of these movies that come out Friday, and as you know, a lot of times that they have their special previews on Thursday. I, however, will be going to attend a double feature. I'll be seeing Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2 with my lovely sister and niece. And we will go see that on a Wednesday afternoons. I have to leave work early. Ugh, my new job, and they're already going to hate me. No, they're not. We're cool with it. They're good. But yeah, I'm going to go do that on Wednesday. And then I will not necessarily get back to you guys. You guys won't hear about the review for another 2 weeks. Same thing with another newness of Jessica Jones coming out on Netflix on Friday. Now, with that, if you're listening to this, which I hope that you are, I hope you're listening. I hope you just didn't push play and walk away, and like it's just in the background, or I don't know how you listen to podcasts. Really, I don't know. I mean, I like to hang from my feet from the ceiling, but I mean that's just me. Anyway, Friday. If you have a Twitter account, and if you don't, I understand. But if you do, if you're on the tweets, follow along with me because I will be hosting a live tweet for Jessica Jones. Normally on Fridays, that is reserved for me to do Fringe Friday. And I decided, you know what, this is a perfect time to do Jessica Jones because season 2 just wrapped up. I mean, of Fringe and the live tweet that I would do with that. And it's a perfect time to do Jessica Jones because, I mean, in the blurred realm, I don't want to say that I own Friday night, but I've got a little stake chiseled out. So I figured that's a great time to do Jessica Jones live tweet. It's debuting or premiering, being released, all the episodes on November the 20th. That's why I keep saying Friday. And we're going to be starting that live tweet at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So just, sign on the tweets, follow me at Indoob, INDOOB, along with my fellow co-host and brother blurred, Geek Soul Brother, as spelled just how I said it. So no, it's not brother, it's actually brother. So, that's there. So follow along with the both of us and the whole community. I'm going to say the whole blurred community but it's going to be everybody. We're all going to be there and just watching together. Well, I'll probably give the signal, the word to, okay, everybody hit play, and we just watch and enjoy what Netflix and Marvel has to offer and introduce us to the character that most people, including myself, I'm going to say most people because a lot of people had no idea who Jessica Jones was, probably still don't. And yeah, we're going to see Kristen Ritter back on the screen. The last time I saw her was Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, which is actually a very hilarious show. It's actually also streaming on Netflix, so check that out when you get a chance. And also David Tennant, yes. Most famous, at least for me, as being the 10th Doctor. So there's that. He's also a big star on Broadchurch. Is it Broadchurch? I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And another little show that probably most people might not be aware of, unless maybe you are, I don't know. W1A, I think it's called. It's also on Netflix. All these shows are on Netflix, so I'm just here just to shill for them. Do I get a penny for it? No, I don't. I don't. Moving on. Also on the 20th of November is what is her name? Adele. Yes, Adele. She's coming out with a brand new album, 25. I will be a fan until I'm 25, but I'm 29. But until I am until she stops making albums, really. Even then, I'm still going to be a fan because, I mean, she can go on. I'm ready to buy album 32, album 57, album 89. If I'm still alive, then yeah, I'm buying that album. And, you know, as long as she's still singing, I'm still there. I have no idea if she has that much material to write about because not all of her songs are about heartbreak and breaking up and all that stuff. But if they are, whatever, I will listen because I'm a fan. I love Adele. I just love listening to her. She's a beautiful voice, beautiful songwriter. Just, I don't have words. I've run out of words. I literally run out of words. So with all that, we do have some other things hopefully in the show. Cause I mean, like I said, this episode will be about, African American Friday, and you'll get to understand why I called it that. And I thought I had another segment. If I do have another segment, it's going to go probably like in the next 15, 20, 30 seconds from now. But if not, we're going to go right into that. So we'll see. Because as I said, I'm on a time constraint. So whatever materials I have, I'm going to give to you. So you can have, you can be entertained for the next, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, however long this particular episode is. I just want you to enjoy yourself today. So without further ado, we're going to the next segment. Hit it. So it is that time of year again where we all gather around together with our families, huddled around the holiday beast, whether that be a turkey, which I prefer it be fried, or a ham, or, you know, chicken, whatever you decide. I mean, unless you're vegan, then, you know, you might not do that at all. Maybe it's some kind of tofu thing, centerpiece. I don't know. But after the meals have been consumed and desserts enjoyed, sometimes there's a football game people watch, or a movie everyone agrees on and they watch that together. But then there's other things that happen where sometimes the Thanksgiving meal or the Thanksgiving holiday itself is nothing more than just a pre-Black Friday kind of a thing. It's the meal to get you ready for what's about to come. And normally that is a Black Friday shopping event. Now, I will say this, over the past couple years, things have been changing from my observations anyway, that more people are starting to shop online versus going out and, you know, wrestling with the crowds and fighting over waffle irons and whatnot. And I mean, waffle irons that are like $3. I mean, so come on, it's not just a waffle iron, but a $3 waffle iron that's normally like $20 maybe. Yeah, I'm punching you in the face for that. No, not really. But people do tend to get a little, like, I don't want to say crazy, but they get pretty excited, and they're like, Black Friday, I cannot wait. And it's a thing. It's an event. It's something that people plan for, or at least that they should. I know that there are people that don't, and I'm here to help you. For those of you that do, because I know there's like people that love to shop and they don't care about the crowds. They are part of the crowd. They're going to be there to get that waffle iron. And I want to be that person to help you do it, because I feel I have the experience to help guide you in this quest this quest for that waffle iron. I don't mean to keep using waffle iron, but that's the first example that came to my mind. But the experience I have, I've worked 2 years at James Cash Penney. I've worked at, I think, between 3 to 4 years of Walter Martin's, 1 year at We Are Toys, and 2 years, not necessarily at the Home Depot, but I worked as a vendor, and why can I only recall only two? It doesn't matter. 2 years at Home Depot, and I couldn't think of a fancy name to call the Home Depot other than the Home Depot, but I think everybody does that anyway, just like they do, they call Target. Anyway, 2 years there, but I've seen differences from each place. And the James Cash Penney example, that was actually my first job and my first time in retail, so I didn't really get the whole craze of it. In fact, I did have it was a Black Friday, but it was more of a bleak Friday, and it was actually my second day ever working at that job, and I think it was in the middle of the summer too, so I was left all alone and had like 3 angry customers and had no idea how to answer any of their questions. Like, why didn't you give me some answers? I don't know. I just started. Can't you see that my badge still says I'm in training? Nobody cared. And yeah, that was just a bad day. But my experiences with James Cash Penney over those years of just dealing with customers and the influx of them, it's nothing compared to working at it's Walmart. That's why I've been calling Walter Martin's. That's what we called it. That's where that name came from, as if Walmart had been upgraded to like an upper middle class or middle upper class, whatever you want to call it, than whatever the people that shop there. Yes, I'm making a judgment. It's okay, because yeah, I still shop there too on occasion, because they are the only ones that carry the 16 count of Pop-Tarts? Yes. So I will still go to and shop at Walmart. I do find that the clientele is different than, say, a Target, but I mean, if they upgraded to Walter Martin's, then maybe they could have the same kind of clientele there. I don't know what it is, but I have no hate towards Walmart, because they put the food on the table for me for at least those good 4 years. And I had the distinct pleasure and enjoyment of watching Black Friday shoppers each of those 4 years I was there. I keep saying it's 4 years. It could be 3, but I think it's 4. And it was a lot of fun. I admit it, because it's fun watching people squirm to get kind of either in line or surrounding a pallet that's been dropped off, but still wrapped up in a whole lot of black plastic, or shrink wrap, or I thought there was another word that they call it. Doesn't matter. And the anxiety that they have, like, oh, I don't know what this is, but I think I need it. They've gotten better though, because not only was I not only was I employee, but yes, I was a customer at Walmart, I think for 2 years. And that was to get a special hot item of a laptop for actually both my parents. And yeah, over the years they've gotten better, because now for the big items like a laptop, you show up at, say, 10 o'clock to get in line to wait until either midnight or 5 a.m. So you have to go with a game plan, and you can't wait until to show up at a Black Friday sale, because then you're just out of luck. Now, this is pretty much at every store now, that they might open their doors at 5 a.m., or maybe allow you to actually make purchases at 5 a.m., but yeah, stores are a lot like, I'm talking the big box stores like Best Buy and Walmart and Target. Yeah, they'll open their doors early. Sometimes if it's really cold outside, if you live up north like I do, then they actually might let you come inside. If they're not a 24-hour store, that's the point I was trying to get to. The Walmart I worked at and shopped at later on is a 24-hour store, so people are welcome to come inside. You just can't get whatever the item that is. They cannot physically place it in your hands until like 5 a.m. So, with that said, if there are other things that you wanted to purchase at that time, you have to come with a team. You have to bring some people with you, either to hang out in line with you, which doesn't really make much sense if you want to get other things, or kind of just negotiate. So just find other Black Friday shoppers and kind of work together. Now, if it's in a line for, a laptop and it's only one per customer, then, you can't really, it's like, hey, I'll get you 2 laptops if you get me, 2 waffle irons. Probably won't work that way, because one person per customer. or one laptop per customer, that kind of deal. So in that case, you might actually need to bring a buddy with you if you need to get 2 laptops. But the point is to make a team, get a team together. So that way you and your teammates can all, huddle together, all, divvy up the funds that you need to do. It's like, okay, we're going to Walter Martin's together. I'm going to stand in the laptop line. You're going to stand in the waffle iron line. And you, Bobby, you're going to stand to get the TV and bring Casey with you because we need 2 TVs because Johnny, he's going to be at James Cash Penny to get all the socks and towels that are going to be on sale. So if you see what I'm doing now, I'm kind of actually just, giving the game plan of however many people are going to be doing this. I know I threw out a whole bunch of guys' names, which is probably unlikely. I mean, will be some guys that are out there Black Friday shopping, but it is mostly from my observation, a lot of women that do that. Even at Home Depot, there's a lot of women. I mean, there's a lot of women shoppers at Home Depot anyway, but there's a lot more. Sometimes it's like the husband kind of dragged along because it's just really early in the morning. But no, most guys there, they're pretty excited to be there. Most of them, anyway. Well, yeah, that does tend to happen. Especially in the toy store, definitely it's mostly women, mostly the mothers looking for the toys for their children. And they also have to wait in line. Sometimes Toys R Us, they did actually open their doors early. I think they stayed open 24 hours from Thanksgiving night until Saturday. So they stayed open past 24 hours, maybe a whole 36, almost 48 hours probably. Because, I mean, it's a toy store. So you're going to want to stay open to get all of that inventory out, all that merchandise, all those people that want to get those toys for their kids. It's for the children. Goodness. So yes, plan the attack days in advance. So you're not planning this on Thanksgiving. But you want, if you can, if it's possible, plan ahead to get which items you want to get where. Get all the flyers. Sometimes they print them a couple days in advance, so that way you can do that kind of planning. And I mean, the stores want you to come. They want your money, basically. So they're going to try to help you out and give you some heads up. Now, what has been happening, especially this year that I'm already aware of, is they'll start their pre-Black Friday sales, or places like Walmart will do a 5 days of Black Friday, which almost makes no sense. I guess you just call it a Black Week. And then it just starts sounding racist after a while. But they have all these days of sales, so it's not just focused on Friday, but guess what? It's still focused on Friday. They still want you there on Friday, even though they're still trying to do the best that they can to be in the black by, I don't know, Saturday. They want it to look good for the National Retail Federation. I think that's what it is. It's on a website, but I don't have it up in front of me right now. But they're the ones who kind of clock in how much each store or maybe the whole nation has done. And that's going to come up later in this episode. But yeah, it's all about, getting as much money as they can from you, the customer, which at this point you're willing to give them anyway. Now, you can do that is go in groups of 2 or 3, depending on the store size or the number of items. And like I said, you can kind of spread them out if there's other stores you want to hit, but you can only be in one place at one time to get that one item. Now, something I had always kind of envisioned, and this is something that I came up with when I was doing my Black Friday shopping one year and waiting in one of these disgusting lines, is that have somebody at home that can stay on the web. So once you get to that item, you can kind of price check with somebody who's like, hey, is this cheaper on Amazon or is this cheaper on eBay or whatever? And I've realized I have to kind of amend that a little bit because most of us have smartphones, so we can actually do the price checking ourselves. Now, it still maybe might be easier to do that or just have that one person that's, I'll call it home base, that they're at home taking care of all the web stuff and price checking things. But like I said, you've got an app to do that for yourself. So you don't really need a person at home to do that anymore. And of course, if you're not the person to be out in these environments, it's probably better to stay home. Sometimes the sales they do strive to get a better deal online, but the brick and mortar community, they still really want you to come in. So they're going to do the best that they can to get the better price. Even if it's the same like store, like if you shop at Best Buy and get that 57-inch TV, then they're probably going to have it a little bit cheaper in the store because they kind of want that revenue because it's for the store, that particular location. They want to have a good return, not necessarily for, I mean, it's still going to go to the company, yes, but that location wants your money versus just the business, if you follow what I'm saying. So sometimes you will find the better deal in the store, sometimes, but you know, it at what cost? Maybe a little bit of your sanity if you're not willing to go in there. And I never actually answered the question why you would actually want to shop on a Black Friday. And I'm kind of getting into that now, but it's really for the experience. It's for there's a lot of energy, a lot of electricity. You see a whole lot of controlled chaos, but there are some great deals that are out there. So that is why some people do it. At least for me, that's why I enjoy just kind of watching the people and how excited, and you know, sometimes maybe it's the anarchist in me, but you get a little excited and wait for a fight to break out over a waffle iron. But you know, I haven't seen one happen yet. Maybe a few disagreements or some voice raised, or definitely just a scramble to get whatever is under that black tarp. Yes, and actually in this occasion, it was not a waffle iron, but it was a toaster. So many people scrambling to get these $3 toasters. And like, it's just a toaster. Calm down. I mean, the person who's going to get that toaster is not going to be as excited as you are getting it. So I don't know. But then again, is that person even going to get the toaster? Is that toaster for them? I mean, yeah, lots of times if I'm around like Black Friday shopping, like, wow, I could really get this for me because I mean, it's so cheap, so inexpensive. But I behave and I'm there for a reason to purchase for other people. So yes, like I said, most stores want you to make store purchases versus the website. But you know, you can shop at home and be safe. So there's nothing wrong with that. But depending on the item in the store, because Walmart is notorious for doing this, sometimes they release certain items later on in the day. Sometimes. And then there's other stores where you might want to hit that have sales. I'm just going to throw it out there. A furniture store. They're not the ones that's going to be hit at 5 a.m. So you can easily just stroll in there later on in the afternoon, pick up your chair or whatever you're there for, and still get your deal. No need to stay all day long in Walmart. And the reason why you'll be in Walmart all day long is because the lines will be there all day long. Now, that is one thing, unfortunately, you can't really reserve. You can't have somebody waiting in line for you already. That's just not allowed. I mean, there are things that I know in the future that will take its place where I think you can probably just wave your phone over the item and boom, it's purchased. That's going to be very dangerous because one day somebody's going to have their child is going to take their phone and start waving it all over the place. And before you know it, you bought up half the store. You're, you know, so deep into credit debt and you have no idea how that happened. Yep, I'm calling it here. It's going to happen. But yeah, like I said, 24-hour stores do have the waiting lines. So you'll basically Black Friday, you're going to be waiting in the line no matter where you are, where you're going. Yeah, it's lines, either lines in front of the product or lines at the cashier, lines regardless. But the stores are prepared for this. That's what the lines are for. Really, it's just to control the chaos, because there will still be some kind of chaos, but they're controlled. They're ready for it. They'll either give you a ticket if it's like a big item. I'm thinking maybe of Home Depot now if it's like a grill, but I don't see the times I was at Home Depot. I was actually doing my job. I was a vendor, so I wasn't really buy any kind of items that would be purchased anyway. I was stocking molding and wood trim. Who is going to be buying wood trim on a Black Friday? Who? Actually, this one old guy was. I don't know why he was, but hey, he was there and picked out some trim and moved on. I'm like, wow, there's one guy. I thought no one would be buying that. But hey, he did. Did he get a sale or a deal? Absolutely not. But other items, again, going back to the laptops, you would normally probably get like a ticket, and you would, that would kind of almost claim or keep you guaranteeing that you get that item. Now, if you hear some extra breathing, some jingling, Chief has decided to join me because I decided to sit on the floor while I do this particular podcast. So he found that my lap is a perfect place for him to just hang out. And I'm perfectly fine with that as long as he doesn't start barking. Then he's going to have to leave. Moving on. Yes. Do you have a problem? Do you have something you want to say? No? Okay, good. My last point here is that you basically just go prepared is what I'm trying to tell you, and have some food ready before and after. I know a lot of these so-called teams, because there are teams that do this already, but these groups, they will, go out for breakfast afterwards, or their food, their dinner. It doesn't matter. They're going out to get some food. So please celebrate how you made it through this battle together, and have fun. Really, that's kind of what I've always taken away from it. Is just having fun, because there are dozens of places you can go to shop, and there are dozens of places that are open the next day that are ready for you weary shopping warriors. As long as you keep your purchase in the car, that is, if you have that many purchases. But again, if depending on what kind of things you're doing, you can probably hit up a bunch of stores. I've mentioned Home Depot a little bit. In my opinion, that is probably a place you can hit later. There are people that do wait by the door at Home Depot, because I've seen it happen twice, but it's not a large crowd or not a large rush, not compared to places like Walmart and Target, which now these days are open at least hours in advance and stay open, so people can be filed inside and put into lines, so that way you don't have the doors bum rushed and people get trampled to death, because that has happened in the past a couple years ago. So as for people fighting over things, yeah, that still happens. But as long as you have fun and you stay safe and you stay sane and you have your group, everyone working together to get all the items. Now, with all of what I said, it sounds like that I am pro-consumerism, especially around Christmas time. And really, I'm not. I'm just trying to help you guys out. For me, it's just fun watching people just go nuts over these things, because like I said, I've waited in so many lines watching so many people, and they start out nice and in a good mood, but the later you wait, the more you start to see them unravel, and it's a thing of beauty. It's really amazing. But yeah, have a great time. Have a great Thanksgiving, by the way, too. Make sure you enjoy the food and eat the turkey, or ham, whatever it is you do, tofu, centerpiece, whatever it is you do. Enjoy yourself and be safe.
Hey everybody out there, I am so excited that the day is finally here. Verve House Collective has launched. We are finally home. And I just hope that you are able to get out of Verve what I've put into it and what I've imagined it being for you. This place is for creatives. This place is for entrepreneurs and business owners. This place is for those who want to live life and live an awesome life with intention. So on the site, you'll find several resources to feed into each one of those things, no matter if you identify with one of those categories or all of them, or even none of them. You may find something that gives you a new perspective on whatever the topic is about. You can always email me at hello@vervehc.com, or reach out to me on any of the social media platforms that are out there. And then holler at me, let me know what you think. Can't wait to hear from you.
Hello, Indoobians. I'm Laura, host of Louder Vision, the podcast for visionaries, artists, and creatives. On my podcast, I'm interviewing fellow artists trying to figure out how we can bring our creative vision to life without compromising our values, crushing our soul, and dying poor. Yep, that explains it. You can listen to the Louder Vision podcast on lauramioli.com and connect with me on Twitter @LouderVision.
The Indoob Podcast.
So carrying on with this episode's theme of Black Friday, or as I've been calling it every once in a while, African American Friday, I personally was curious and wanted to find out more about a certain protest or boycott that happened last year, year 2014 again, where what had happened was back in Ferguson with Michael Brown being basically killed by a cop and the cop getting away with it. That cop's being named Darren Wilson. And by getting away, he was not indicted. So boycotts and protests had sparked. And around November, they decided, actually, it was back in October, they decided to start hashtag Blackout Black Friday. I mean, it's not just a hashtag, but that's how it helps spread on Twitter, at least. Twitter and Facebook, to let everybody know not to spend your money at these regular stores. Let's show the people, or show America, really, that since money is the only thing that talks or it seems to make an impact, let's not spend money on that day that is meant to spend money. I mean, it's practically a holiday, Black Friday. So that protest, or that boycott, because it's both really, happened. And I was curious if it had any effect, like if anything changed. And you can actually measure this by seeing how, the funds did. So rather than keep you in suspense, what happened, these are the facts I found. I really only found just a couple articles, because most of the articles I pulled up just talked about the protest and the movement, Black Lives Matter. They just talked about before it happened. I only found a few articles that gave me anything after, like any results. And it's interesting because even one article actually said that it all depends on what questions you're asking to get the answers you're looking for. But to just stop delaying, the answer I found is that sales dropped, according to National Retail Federation, that sales dropped 11% from the previous year. So from 2013 to 2014, Black Friday sales were down. And also to give you kind of a ballpark number of what these sales are, because that's something I had no idea. It was like, well, how much did they normally make? Well, 2013, they made $57.4 billion. And in 2014, they made $50.9 billion. Now, they, being the brick and mortar stores of, who you're used to seeing, Target, Walmart, big box name brand stores, they're the ones that are reporting these numbers to the National Retail Federation. Now, what they say, or they don't include, is why why the numbers went down. And that's where some of the speculation kind of comes in. Well, we are still recovering from a recession, or the economy's still down. They've got a whole lot of online competition, or that's starting to grow, which, I mean, these things are actually true. Yes, recession still kind of is a problem for some people. They're still not back on their feet to do the kind of shopping. But then again, if they weren't on their feet this year, or 2014, they probably weren't on their feet last year either, or 13. And online competition, yeah, that is something that is starting to become more of a trend. More people are starting to shop at home versus going out into the stores and fighting the crowds. They also blame it on extended Black Friday sales, which Walmart does and will continue to do, because they are also still trying to get more money. The only difference is they won't be able to calculate how much money they've received, like on that Black Friday window, because they do their sales all week long. So they're not going to report or record that technically. So, I mean, those are just little factors that they do kind of make a difference. But overall, a lot of people, I would think, would just assume, well, not even assume, but just kind of put all these figures together. It's like, yeah, all of that could be true. But I think the protest, the boycott, they did have an influence in the decline in sales last year. So I would say that it did have an effect. Maybe not the effect that we may have been looking for, where like, wow, the sales were dramatically down this year. And I mean, they're even saying that 11% is dramatic. And looking at the numbers, like, I haven't seen trends from previous years. It's like, oh, normally they do about 57, 56 billion. I don't know. I didn't go that far back. I was just looking to see the results, like what changed. Did anything change? And I don't know. That's pretty much all I saw. To me, it was not a satisfying enough change, which I think we kind of already know, because things are still happening. I mean, we are still having to talk about Sandra Bland, which we should, and we shouldn't forget, because there are still cops out there that are just not doing right. The system is still broken. So there is a lot of things that still need to change, and we're not there yet. So do we do another protest, or do we protest something else? What else do we have to do? What else can we do? How many more people have to die before, things change? Those are the kind of the bigger questions that tend to be asked. And me being what I describe myself as a humorist, that's not really my forte, but they are questions that are important to me. So I am still asking them. I'm just kind of amplifying them. Other people are asking these questions. And I am still looking for answers as well, because I would like to see a change. But yeah, that is, for those of you that do remember Blackout Friday, that is the answer. It's 11% of a difference, and I personally would attribute it to the boycotts that happened. You can still factor in online competition, recession, blah blah blah, but I would say that people that decided not to go shopping, they did make a difference and made their voices heard by using their wallets, which is definitely a motto of a friend of mine who has a list of places that she will not give her money to because of various reasons. So yeah, that is one way to vote, is with your wallet. Like I said, again, I'm not aware of any protests happening this year. Or not even protests, but boycotts. I do know of one store, I think it's an outdoor store, REI perhaps. I believe they're actually going to be closed on Black Friday because they want their employees to go outside, enjoy themselves, probably, enjoy their family, and just, do all that. And I am all for that. As much as I talked about Black Friday and how to survive out there, I am not one that is a co-signer of the commercialization of Christmas. That's something that has been happening for years anyway. You can see that in the Charlie Brown cartoons, which has been out since the 60s. So this is nothing new. That when it comes to Christmas, it's pretty much how much money can we spend this year. It should be back to basics, back to about, spending time with your family, being thankful for them, and if you like your family, and then, be with your friends, whatever. But, it's just a time for love and caring, and not necessarily who can get the best gift. Or unless you make a gift, which is, I think, what I did last year, because I think that's the start of my applesauce craze. This year, since I've started doing I've advanced to actually baking goods. That might be something I do, but that has nothing to do with what I was talking about prior to this. I'm going to wrap up the show anyway, so that's why I guess I'm just kind of rambling on about future Christmas things. And I'm not saying who's getting what either, but I will probably ask, what do you prefer? Do you like cheesecake or apple pie? But yeah, that's something I'll be doing. In the meantime, though, I would just say to continue to have a good time, because Thanksgiving is coming, so let's remember that it's about family. It's actually more about food, but it's about family, and maybe football. Maybe not for me, but food, family, football. That's, I think, mostly what most people kind of attribute to Thanksgiving. So let's remember that and enjoy each other. And if you're going to go out into the chaos, then please remember the tips that I gave you. Unless you have a foolproof way that helps you before, do that. But for my own recommendation, I would say to, shop online. But really, what you should do is just go to a Black-owned business and shop there. Support them. Not even I won't, just limit just to Black-owned businesses, but all small businesses. Go to them. They're waiting for you. They'll be happy to, accept your funds and give you their wares. Their doors aren't being bursted down. You're not going to have to fight over a waffle iron with them. They're willing to help you. So do that. If you're going to shop anywhere, shop at a small owned, a small little business, and skip out Best Buy. Go to them tomorrow. They're gonna have a sale all weekend, so wait till then, or Cyber Monday. Do it then, or just shop online. I don't really, whatever. Just yeah. That is the safest thing I can tell you to do. Is to just wait, or just buy your gifts in the middle of the year. Sometimes that works too. I mean, it depends on the gift, because if it's like a TV and then they end up buying a new TV in August and you bought them a TV in June, then, well, you just got yourself a new TV, or you just give it to them anyway. I don't know. But I'm talking about those like real personable items, like you get something engraved with their name in it. Then, you can get that early in the year. Like, hey, I got Auntie Billy's present already, so you're good. So do that. But yeah, that is my advice to you, and also to wish you a belated happy Veterans Day to those veterans out there. I thank you so much for your service and all that you do. And also probably an early Thanksgiving. I have another. Yeah, early Thanksgiving and early African American Friday. And I guess I will talk to you guys next in December, when it's actually full-on Christmas season, officially, because we all know right now that there are people that put their lights out November 1st. Stop it. Just stop it. And don't forget that Jessica Jones live tweet this Friday at November 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, at this point, I'm thinking about doing a live tweet of His Girl Friday. I don't know what time yet. Might be at 9 p.m. And then following that Friday, we'll probably resume Fringe Friday, also at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there you have it. And literally just breaking news, our special hashtag for Jessica Jones, because, I mean, you can just do the hashtag Jessica Jones and you'll read everything that it does. But to follow our live tweet, use hashtag me and Miss Jones. That is MEANDMSJONES. And then you can follow along with our live tweets. So again, that is hashtag me and Miss Jones for the Jessica Jones live tweet on Netflix on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
Podcast was recorded on planet Earth and is an extension of the Indoob blog found at indoob.com. You can subscribe and find more episodes on iTunes and indoob.podbean.com. You can also follow Master Sterling on Twitter at indoob. I am not allowed. This is Bilford signing off, and this has been another 3SFX production.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.